Olá, bem-vindos ao canal Bilinguismo Infantil. A nossa convidada de hoje é a Irina. Ela é linguista, professora de inglês, professora de russo. Ela também fala vários idiomas, ela fala português brasileiro, francês, espanhol, e ela é uma entusiasta do bilinguismo. E hoje ela vai contar para a gente um pouquinho sobre a pesquisa que ela realizou a respeito do bilinguismo no Brasil. Hi, Irina. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So kind of you to share with us all your experience and your discoveries about bilingualism in Brazil.
Thank you for having me. It's really nice that you have interest in it. Thank you.
It's a pleasure for all of us. My first question is, how did your story with bilingualism begin?
Well, I think that it started in the primary school, I think, the first time when I realized that I'm really into languages, into learning languages. Like there I started to learn English as first L2. Yeah, and I think my story started there because I really started to be interested in people who learn English, who learn other languages. And of course, in some period of time, I realized that there are some people who speak two languages from birth. So like I was, wow, that's possible. Let's read about it, you know. And like after in the high school, I decided that I really want to study languages. I really want to go deeper in it. Yeah, so I've chosen linguistics in my university. And now, like this summer, I've graduated from university, so I'm a linguist now. Yeah, and in university, I realized that bilingualism is something that really inspires me, and I've done a couple or maybe 3 or 4 works connecting with this topic. So like there, I think I developed myself in this area. That's it.
Great, that's great. I am also passionate about linguistics, and that's my field also, and I really love these connections, and I love to find people who are like this, just like you, because we can have really fun conversations about it. And well, I think that's what people will be very curious about, and so am I. Where did your interest for Brazil came from? Because you speak Portuguese, but you told me that you were not so comfortable in having the interview in Portuguese, but you learn a little, and your research is about bilingualism in Brazil. Where does this interest come from?
Well, it's also a long story, but I will try to say it in a short way. I was interested in Brazil for a long time, I think, but mostly because like, whoa, Brazil, it's somewhere very far away, very different from Russia, you know, like, and at that time I started to have a friend from Brazil who told me a lot of things about Brazil, like, but mostly, of course, not about language, because he is from IT area. So like we were talking about different things. And after several amounts of time, I realized that like, whoa, I'm interested more and more. And after this friend became my boyfriend, and I went deeper into the topic of Brazil. And of course, as a linguist, like when I already was in uni, I realized that that's really interesting, and I have to learn more, and I have to learn the language aspect too, and the historical aspect of Brazil too, because of course I'm passionate about your culture, I'm passionate about your people, like that's really, really interesting, and your language, it's a part of your society, a huge part of your society. So all this together, made me fall in love in Brazil, and especially when I visited Brazil for the first time, it happened in January this year. I realized that, you know, I don't have a way back. I'm in love.
Really? So that's great. Where have you been in Brazil?
in Santa Catarina, in Itajaí and
Really,
Pisares.
really, real close to me.
Okay.
That's great. So you know that we're not all about soccer and carnival. There's more than that here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I know that you speak Portuguese, yeah, because I don't know if you know, but people in Europe, they are, oh, really? They don't speak Spanish.
Yeah. That's a big surprise. Yeah. That's a big surprise.
Yeah.
And what about your research? What was the purpose of your research?
Well, I think first I have to explain why it is Brazil in my research, yeah? Because as I said, I started to be more and more interested in your country and in your historical and linguistic part. And I realized that one day I anyway will sit and I will study this a lot, you know? So why not to do this my thesis work? Mm-hmm. So I decided to combine my two loves, yeah, bilingualism and Brazil. So the purpose of this research was to structure the bilingualism as itself. Why? Because there is a lot of classifications of bilingualism. And in one classification, I am a bilingual. In another classification, I'm not. And like, I realized that it's not right. I have to do something with it. So I decided that I have to create a system that will be able to, you know, to structure, to make a graduation of the levels of bilingualism. And what is more important, to give the answer for the question, like the answer for the question, if you are bilingual or if you are not, you know? So I think that's the main purpose.
All right. And what have you discovered?
Well, first of all, I am happy to say that this system works quite well. I can't say that it's 100% precise, yeah, but it is 64% precise. It has the preciseness of 64% in detecting the dominant language, which is amazing. Yeah, and in general, all the results that I received, like from the people, yeah, and from the system, it showed me that that's quite precise, and I can believe this system. Of course, I have a lot of work to do, but still, I think it's a good first step. And talking about some, let's say, features, yeah, that I found out, and it was really interesting. For example, I don't know how you Brazilians feel about it, but I was sure that in your country, I will find out that the most popular pair, it's Brazilian Portuguese and German, or Brazilian Portuguese and Spanish. Like, yeah, and probably Brazilian Portuguese and Spanish and German. It's because I was in Santa Catarina.
Yeah, and here German is very strong. People speak as mother tongue, actually.
Yeah, like Blumenau.
In some places.
Yeah, and that's why I decided that, like, well, okay, I can't count just on one state, but maybe, you know.
Yeah, because Brazil is very diverse. Depending on where you are, you will find a different reality. But as you said, here in Santa Catarina, German is very strong. Polish also, Italian, but in my area, I would be comfortable saying that German is very strong. Most people learn German as first language and then learn Portuguese at school, and that's one of the reasons I am very deep into this bilingualism promotion, because I find very sad when the school says to people, to mothers and fathers, wait, you have to stop speaking German with your kid because he's not going well at school. And I think that's absurd. And I want to encourage people to keep going on bilingualism, because it will bring many benefits to the kid, and encourage parents to follow that.
That's really cool, because, you know, you have really the unique situation in Brazil, because you have it in a family. Like you don't need to go, I don't know, in some speaking clubs and etc. You have it in a family. You can you need just to develop it, and that's really nice. I totally agree with you. Keep going.
And even even the children, German, I would consider to be cool language. Kids kind of like it, but sometimes they speak dialects at home, and then the kids start going to school or being teenagers, and then they'll find that so cool anymore, and they want to stop doing that. No, let's talk just Portuguese because my friends speaking Portuguese, and they stop that, and I found that very sad.
And well. But anyway, like I was surprised about the diversity of the languages in Brazil. Like, of course, I was not able to work with all the languages just because of the fact that I don't know all the languages, unfortunately. But what I found out, it's quite obvious, but still it was a surprise for me that the most popular pair, it's Brazilian Portuguese and English. Yeah, like it's 58% of the people, of the whole respondents, of the whole number of the respondents that I had. Yes, like it is their pair. And what else? That's the first thing that I found out. And the second thing I found out, because I also have respondents with Brazilian Portuguese and with Russian, that this combination provokes a lot of interference in languages. Like this is the people who, let's say, they can make more mistakes. Yeah, because you know the structure of the language. It's like the structures of the language.
Even the alphabet.
Yeah, the alphabet. Let's start from here.
I think that's the. I think before knowing anything about the language, people see the alphabet and say, "Oh no, that's not for me. That's too difficult."
Well, yeah, that's true. But anyway, that was really interesting, you know. Or for example, I had one girl, the respondent, she has a pair of Brazilian Portuguese and Creole Hawaiian. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I've heard of this language, but I've never met a person who speaks this language that was so unique and so unbelievable for me. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I would never guess you found a person like that. But well, I don't doubt it because you see many kinds of different people. But it's very cool, very interesting, and just add to the topic.
Very well, yeah, that's true. And of course, the part that I'm more interested in, but why I'm interested in it, because I don't have such a big access into it, it's the indigenous languages. Like, because, you know, I'm far from knowing it, unfortunately, but I really would love to, you know, to talk to someone who knows it and to compare it and to find people who speak both languages, like Brazilian Portuguese and some indigenous languages. So that would be really cool. I think really we would be able to receive a lot of interesting material.
Yeah, of course. And can you tell us, in your opinion, what are the main differences between bilingualism in Russia and in Brazil?
Well, yes, I think I can, and mostly in a practical part, because first of all, it's important to say that that's really cool that our countries, despite all the difference, it has a lot of things in common. Like, for example, the diversity of languages, because in Russia we have a big diversity too, because of some historical events, because of the immigration as well. So, like, we are familiar with this situation too. But so that's about the common things. But the differences are that in Brazil, it seems to me, because I haven't studied this topic for a really, really long time, for several years. But I think that you are focused more on the pragmatical part of the bilingualism, like education, for example. Like you study bilingualism in a way of how to implement it into the education. You create the bilingual schools. You help kids to grow in this area. Yeah. In Russia, the situation is a little bit different because we also have schools like this. Yeah, we also know about this phenomenon. But the thing is, we are more into theory. Yeah, we try to find out some connections, some consequences, and etc. And I think that nowadays we are more focused on the neurological part of bilingualism. Like, how does our brain work in this area?
I love that.
Me too. I love it. Neurolinguistics, it's another part of linguistics that I love. So yeah, that's interesting. That's what I'm happy about. Yeah, that the situation is happening in Russia. But at the same time, it would be really cool if we pay more attention to the bringing up the kids like you do. Yeah, in this area, that would be really cool too. That's it.
Yeah, because we have, like you said, we have that I don't know if that's culture or what, but we have that concern of opening language schools and teaching kids like teaching another language as a foreign language with grammar, all of those traditional tools. And but if we can do that naturally, if we can do that in a natural environment, passing on family languages or even another language which is not from your family, but that you speak and that you like and that you have a connection with it, I think would be great. I think it would, including saving money, and I am a teacher, so it's contradictory, but I believe that. I do that. I know that is not for everybody. Not everybody has that disposition or has that knowledge or whatever. But I think that if you can and if you want and if you're motivated, I think you should do it, and I encourage people to do that, because like here we're talking about German. If you can learn from early age, you won't have that much, you won't have to put so much effort into it, and then when you were like a teenager or an adult, you will speak that without a problem. But if you go to a class, you have all the work of going to class and learn and do exercises, and the result may not be as effective as when you learn as a child in a natural environment.
Of course, that's true. And here we come to the topic of classification of bilingualism as well. Yeah, who is bilingual? Will this person who started to learn English, like let's say at 7, at the age of 7, will he be bilingual? Like that's also a problem.
That's a big question. What's your opinion about that?
Honestly, I believe that the real bilingual is the one who gained this language, who acquired the language from the early age, like let's say at least before 3, before the age of 3. And in the best way, if you do it in a natural way, like you have a mother who is, I don't know, let's say she speaks Brazilian Portuguese, and the father who speaks English. And like in this case, I think that's the real bilingualism. But,
acquiring two mother tongues at the same time, simultaneously.
Yes, that's true. I think that's a real bilingualism. Probably it's too tall, but that's my opinion.
All right, great. And what are your future projects concerning bilingualism, maybe concerning Brazil? I don't know.
I would love to, in fact. Talking about my future plans, I think that I have 2 main goals. The first goal is to develop this system and develop in 2 ways. First, I would love to make it more precise by like including more respondents in a perfect way. As I said, I would love to work with someone who study some indigenous languages, yeah, because it's a huge part of your linguistic world there, right? So like, I would love to make this. And the second aspect, I would really love to adapt the system to other language pairs, like, I don't know, Russian English, Russian, I don't know, Korean, and etc. Yeah, like but it's more simple. Yeah, but because I know how to do it. Yeah, but it will take a lot of time. So I think that my first goal is the first thing that I mentioned.
Great. So, and could you leave a message to the people who are watching, people who are interested in this topic, the bilingualism, people who studied, people who are researching, people in general who are passionate about this?
Well, yeah, I think that I can say, first of all, to make a sum up of what we were discussing, yeah, for those ones who try to make their kids bilingual, yeah, or who try to be bilingual somehow, like, yeah, even in when they are adults. I want to say just keep going, because that will give you a huge amount of opportunities. Learning languages, like knowing languages, it's a big road into the future. I believe so. And for those ones who study, who research, who make a research in this area, I really would say to go deeper into this topic. Why? Because like the biggest problem every time is to find the respondents. But as soon as you have the respondents, just please keep going and go deeper and study more and try to take as much material as possible, because I believe that finding the key of bilingualism, yeah, of its functionality, of the way it works, probably will give us the answer even to the question of the origin of the language. Like, where does it come? And that's as you know, a big question, a really big question, and a big matter in linguistics nowadays. So that's it.
That's great. Irina, thank you very much. I have no words to thank you, because your presence here brought us a whole new perspective, and I think people will love as much as I did. Thanks so much for being so kind, and good luck with your researches, your future projects, and come to Brazil.
Thank you very much for having me, for such a comfortable and cozy ambience that we had today. And it was really a pleasure to talk to you today. And I hope that people who are watching us will like it. And I wish you good luck with the page. I wish you good luck in your profession. And that was really cool. Thank you.
Great. Esse foi a nossa entrevista com a Irina. Espero que tenham gostado e até a próxima.